Okay, so for this assignment, I will be discussing about atmospheric circulation, and I would like to highlight, the key points in atmospheric circulation that I think really explain the topic well. So first, we talk about wind direction. Wind direction is as it sounds, basically the direction of the wind, which does play a very big role in a lot of natural occurring phenomena, and is an important aspect to weather altogether. But to go in deeper with wind direction, we can further explain one of the main factors that cause wind direction, the Coriolis effect. The Coriolis effect is important because it puts in the fact that, or it accounts for the fact that the world is rotating. Because the world is rotating, wind also rotates, because wind travels in straight lines, but if the world is rotating, the wind will also in turn rotate. And what the image here I have depicts is wind rotates in different hemispheres. So in the northern hemisphere, we get a clockwise rotation, and in the southern hemisphere, we get a anti-clockwise or counterclockwise rotation. We also can explain, from wind direction, how there's a high and low pressure system, and it just ties into the Coriolis effect, where we have, clockwise and counterclockwise rotations that occur, and this really just depends on the hemisphere. But the important factor in this is that it accounts for a pressure gradient, a high and low pressure gradient, where a low pressure gradient would have winds converging, and a high pressure gradient will have winds diverging. Difference in converging and diverging could, lead to different effects, such as like low pressure systems give us, bad weather, because once they rise, clouds are more readily formed and different types of precipitation may occur. But, to go in further, we can finally explain wind circulation. The image I have here depicts, the trade winds in the equator, and towards the poles we have the westerlies. This is important because, this kind of accounts for how our temperature and our climate is in the different areas. So you have the warm winds, the trade winds that are around the equator that are usually rise, because warm wind rises, or warm air rises, and around this tropical areas, why is, where you would usually see like deserts, because it's so dry all the time, or on the edges you would see, there's subtropical high, which is like things like around rainforests and whatnot. But this image I have here really depicts the different types of circulation, and in some ways explains like the Coriolis effect, as you can see in the different northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere rotations. And I think for this assignment, that's the main points that account for global circulation and whatnot. So yeah.